It's the 2K Sports pregame show, brought to you by Kia.
With Kenny the Jet Smith and the Big Aristotle, Dr. Shaquille O'Neal, this is Ernie Johnson welcoming you to the NBA on 2K Sports. Our featured matchup tonight out in New York, where the Knicks will be going up against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Looking at the last game for Minnesota, it was a win against New York. That game a high-scoring affair. We'll see if this one turns into a shootout as well. And Shaq, we're coming up to the halfway point of the season. Some teams finally getting into a groove after a somewhat shaky start.
Yeah, every year is different. Sometimes it takes a little longer to figure out. But what's most important is you get hot at the right time.
Oh, that's right. I agree with that. And you have to have a lot of experience on your team. And those guys know how to pace themselves. And you can just kind of relax. Quality veterans won't allow the season to be a sprint. It's a marathon.
Tip-off coming up shortly. It's time to send it to Kevin Harlan for the call.
It's time for some hoops at the home of the New York Knicks. We're bringing it to you live on 2K Sports. And as we start the weekend here on this Friday night, 2K Sports welcoming you to NBA basketball. This is Kevin Harlan, and by my side are analysts Greg Anthony and Doris Burke. From the sideline, we'll have the Hall of Famer David Aldridge. We'll be hearing from him in just a bit. We'll take a look at the Timberwolves. They're hoping they can carry over some of that momentum from their undefeated homestand.
And I think for the Timberwolves, they've started the season on a high note. We thought it may take a while for them to kind of find their groove, but it doesn't look like they're going anywhere here or any concerns about growing pains.
Yeah, I think that growing process has already taken place. This is a team that already knows what its identity is and where its strengths lie.
And checking out Minnesota's opening lineup. The two #1 picks, Wiggins and Towns, are the forward positions. Rubio and Levine together in the backcourt. And it's Jang in at the 5, roaming the paint.
Wow, able to survey over the top of defenses as well as squeeze into tight quarters. Rubio is the consummate playmaker.
And the one thing about Rose is that, you know, he can still get up for the big matchups. Whenever he faces another great point guard, he seems to play at his best level and loves to push himself and is willing to step up to the challenge. Let's just hope that he can eventually get back to that all-star caliber presence he had just a few years ago.
Free throw drops for Rose. And with Rose and his injuries, it's not easy for him to put in a work day every day. But as you said, he can light it up on the big stage.
Yeah, and that is why he's such a threat. Even with his numbers being somewhat diminished, Rose knows what it takes to be a successful player at the highest level. You only wish he wasn't robbed of so much of his game due to injury.
We got a battle at center tonight. What will you be watching there?
Yeah, I think these are two franchises, Kevin, that obviously pride themselves on what they do on the defensive end. It all starts there. Their philosophy is championships begin there. And if you're talking about defense, no better position to start from than the center spot. Two great rim protectors that we're going to watch tonight.
Make a difference. They certainly do.
Boy, that's as wide open as you're going to get. The defense needs to lock in and be better than that.
Lee outside. Thomas against Wiggins. Thomas kicks to Lee. Towns with the steal. Fast break, Minnesota. Here's Rubio. Jang dishes to Levine. Rose with the block. To the inside. And the dunk by Porzingis.
And that was the play to make. Rose making the right read.
The Timberwolves have gone 50% from the field, hitting 3 of 6 since the opening tip. Jang, a screen. And Rubio kicks to Towns. That's in, coming off an assist from Rubio. Rubio's got his 3rd assist on the night. Noah with a screen on Rubio. Rose attacking. Out to Porzingis. Down low. A second chance effort. No good on the shot. The Timberwolves go the other way with it. They are coming into this having notched a win against the Knicks in their last game.
You know, they played well enough to win, but to be honest with you, I just felt like their opponent's defensive performance was shaky at best.
Well, it's no doubt. It's so much easier to run your offense if the defense is not trying to take away any of your options.
Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
They've been looking out of sync offensively.
And they need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
Now here's Porzingis. He had a 21-point outing in their last game against Minnesota.
And how about the job he did rebounding as well, guys? I mean, just a dominant performance on the glass.
Here's Levine following the basket by Kristaps Porzingis. Towns the screen. Here's Wiggins. Oh, and he plucks it off the glass. Wow. Knicks trail by 6. Lee passes to Porzingis. Rose dishes to Thomas. Tries a 3. They get it again. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2. It's on Zach LaVine.
And you know what? You allow a guy to get right to the rim like that. That's your only option.
The Knicks have converted 1 of 2 free throws so far today.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. Roof shots.
First free throw is good.
I think if you look historically at the Timberwolves, the best years for this franchise were during the prime Kevin Garnett era. Obviously, they finished atop the West back in 2004, best showing in franchise history, and they end up losing to the Lakers in the Western Conference Finals.
And both free throws good for Thomas. That 2004 Wolves team was led by Kevin Garnett, the big ticket. That was the season where he won the team's only national MVP award.
And Kevin, what a shame that team fell short of making the finals. Injuries, if you remember, slowed them up in the playoffs. They weren't full strength. You look back, and that season was pure magic for Timberwolves fans.
Here's Rose after the made shot from Karl Anthony Towns. Out of bounds, Minnesota takes possession. And now we'll go to David Aldridge, who had a chance to talk with head coach Tom Thibodeau. D.A.?
Well, Kevin, they have a specific approach to tonight's game. He told me they have to get the ball into the paint as much as possible and take advantage of what they believe is a big inch for them inside. We'll see if they're right about that tonight. Back to you.
Thank you, David. And Rubio kicks to Levine. A floater. That shot is off. And New York will come the other way, coming off that loss against the Timberwolves.
And one of the factors, Kevin, that really hurt them in that game, the lack of success at the foul line. We all know how much those free throw woes can cost you.
And free throws are especially difficult on the road. The crowd noise can affect what you're thinking, and it's a challenge. And it was obviously a challenge they were dealing with. Here's
Rubio following the score by Derrick Rose. Here's Wiggins. It's rebounded by New York.
Not really sure what he was thinking about on that shot. That is not high IQ basketball.
No, and it looked like he got a bit ahead of himself and just couldn't pull back. Boy, the defense was in perfect position, but it simply didn't matter. He's just too skilled, too good. All the credit goes to the defense, preventing a terrific finisher like that from throwing it down.
And it goes out of bounds. That one off Porzingis. Let's get some information from the 2K leaderboard. In about the last 10 games in the NBA, during that span, these teams have the most second chance points in the league. In the third spot, the Timberwolves.
Really something to see. Their effort on the offensive glass has just led to so many second chance opportunities.
Now here's Levine. Following the miss by Porzingis. Feeds to Towns. Timberwolves passing it around. Levine can't hit.
And already they've staked out a noticeable advantage in terms of aggression and controlling the backcourt.
Lee passes to Thomas. Noah the screen to the inside. Porzingis. And the dunk by Porzingis.
You know, at 7'3", yes, he can dunk. But with that athleticism and his sense for the dramatic and his flair, look out, folks. He can be special.
Now here's Levine. A 20-point game for him in the win against New York.
I thought his physicality was crucial, too. You know, he kept the defense on their toes and repeatedly got to the free throw line.
And the foul on Derrick Rose. That's his first foul.
Oh, great defense there. Anticipated the play and got there first.
Towns kicks to Levine. Passes it to Dang. And the officials whistle a foul on the shot. The bucket's good. He'll go to the line. And when you see Chang, you don't expect a player, Doris, of his size to be a threat from outside, but he has a very soft touch in the mid-range, and it's getting better every year, it seems.
Yeah, I think there's no doubt. Chang can definitely face up and knock shots down. Enough, certainly, to keep other big men honest when he steps out into clear space. And also helps a lot that every time he gets to the free throw line, he's been solid there. You know, couldn't agree more with this timeout. Far too many turnovers to get any kind of offensive rhythm. You're just trying to mix things up here.
And a moment here to look at where the shots have been coming from.
And guys, really the story for him has been his struggles from mid-range. I mean, some of them have been rushed. Others were just tightly contested. But he has to be a lot smarter on when to pull up or when to look for a teammate going forward in terms of winning this game.
Knicks trail by 3. Lee dishes to Rose. It's tipped. Thomas kicks it to Noah. It doesn't go for him. And it's the Timberwolves taking it the other way.
A team's rebounding is a great measure of its energy, and theirs has been terrific here in the first quarter.
Wow, that's the second foul called on him in the opening period. Could buy him a little time on the bench.
And New York making a change here. Baker's checked in. And Rubio kicks to Towns. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. And Doris, a lot of people knew that Towns would be good in the NBA, but just how quickly he has established himself as a defensive force is very impressive. You can see how he impacts decisions that opponents are making on the floor around him.
Yeah, I think Towns is always lurking and always aware of what the opposite offense is thinking about, and so he gets a lot of his blocks when the shooter didn't even know Cat was in position to block it. And what's really impressive is how versatile Cat is with who he can match up with and his defense individually in one-on-one situations.
The Knicks making a switch here. O'Quinn's checked in. He's perfect from the line this time.
Yeah, we know there are big men in the NBA who struggle at the line, but for him, it's a real strength.
Rose passes to O'Quinn. Rose a screen on Towns. Here's Baker, and lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2.
And guys, I've spent a lot of time covering the Knicks, and I think the passion of this fan base is not to be underestimated. Even through some lean years, the arena stays packed. They're thirsting for a winner.
2 shots.
And he knocks down the first one. And Doris, when you take a look at the Knicks, what do they need to do to get back into the upper echelon of the league?
Well, to me, Kevin, it's the formula that every successful franchise uses. You begin at the ownership level, and then you work your way down from the GM to the president. You've got to have consistent quality leadership. I think you've got to start to allow Kristaps Porzingis to become more and more a part of your future. Build around that young, talented star while still taking advantage of Carmelo.
Pass to Aldridge. Lays it up and banks it in. Aldridge has got his first bucket of the night.
And really, it's been a major aspect of their offense in the early stages here. Their success working the ball inside and getting points from close range.
Now, here's O'Quinn. He's coming off a 13-point game against the Timberwolves in Minneapolis.
You know what else impressed me? How infectious his tenacity was. Simply a wrecking ball on the boards, collecting huge amounts of rebounds.
Doris, you've interviewed so many coaches over the years. Which coaches do you enjoy interviewing the most?
Well, I have to say my classmate, Billy Donovan.
No kidding.
We were both point guards in the class of '87. I like to tell Billy he was the second best one in that class, in fact. But I do enjoy.
I bet he enjoys that, too. He's a good man, isn't he? Huh?
He is, no question about it. And because he's new to the league, he's not objecting quite yet to the ad nauseum questions we tend to ask over and over.
How about quickly talking with Greg Popovich at San Antonio, which is always a challenge, whether you're calling the game or you're on the sideline?
I want you to understand something. When I am walking over to Greg Popovich, I want you to understand that my heart is pounding. I'm probably sweating.
No, come on.
And I'm trying not to shake.
Oh, come on. That's against everything you are. I know that. It's always good conversation, though. It's stolen by Hill. And here we go. Fast break. Muhammad's got it. The rebound by Holiday.
And that one gives them a +5 rebound advantage, Kevin.
Inside. Here's O'Quinn. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up.
Well, Kyle O'Quinn, he wasn't a well-known player in college, but he was a find in that second round of the draft. Whenever you have a player with his size and ability to eat up space in the middle, he's going to find a place on the roster.
This is his first chance at the line tonight. The first one falls. Size is something that teams will always look to acquire and find time for, and Doris O'Quinn fits that bill in a big way.
Yeah, Kev, it's not easy to find a player of O'Quinn's size that has as soft a touch as he does. He can step outside, pull out his defender, freeing up the middle for his team. A very easy shooting motion on O'Quinn. He looks very comfortable from the three-point line. I think one thing the Wolves will certainly be looking to improve upon this year is solidifying that defense. It has been a weak point for them in recent history, and they have the talent, to me, to play good defense. They just need to drill in the fundamentals.
Here's Baker after Jordan Hill's bucket. Holiday up top. Muhammad covering. Now here is Holiday. He's tightly guarded. The shot from the low post is good. And with the Wolves and their defensive problems, Doris, a lot of that comes from lack of protecting the rim. That's not just on the big men either.
Well, Kevin, you're exactly right, because putting up a lot of points at the rim is not just the fault of the 4s and the 5s. Perimeter players can't act as matadors and let dribble drivers in so easily. If opponents do get inside, everyone needs to rotate and challenge shots.
Here's Baker following the score by Cole. Here's the screen. Baker, no good.
That's not the type of opportunity he fails to convert very often.
Puts up a 3. Knicks with the rebound. Last time they came together was in Minnesota, where they felled the Wolves.
Yeah, and their last time out against this club, turnovers really did them in. Just way too many mistakes.
They were forced into tons of sloppy play, and I think they'll be looking to be more composed tonight.
Really left alone that time. And now a 5-point Minnesota lead.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Here's Kuzminskis. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. A shot's good from O'Quinn.
You know, that right there is a great example. O'Quinn has got great hands, so he can step out or bang inside with the best of them.
They set the pick. Now the pass to Bielitsa. From 11 feet away, Dunn misses. Knicks trail by 3. Here's Baker. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against Minnesota.
And it wasn't only his scoring, the intensity on defense. He nabbed 3 steals that night.
Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
No question, he got bumped on that shot.
For New York, they have gone 9 of 10 from the line, so making the most of their chances.
At the line for 2.
Shooting 2.
He's off on the first. And he's good on the second. And how teams are able to work together is the greatest key to success. Doris, you appreciate that. In your eyes, as a player, as a former coach, what makes a good teammate?
I think probably the most important thing is you see a guy who is as excited for their teammates' success as they are for their own, right? It's not just a fist pump or a dap up when they score. It's when the guy next to him scores.
And that's what you enjoyed playing point guard.
Oh, I loved it. Listen, for a point guard, it's as good to get an assist as it is to get a bucket.
Interesting.
I'd say that shot is well within his range.
I would hope so. And Muhammad kicks to Hill. Down it goes for his 3rd basket in as many tries.
Well, making the extra pass, Muhammad's discipline on offense leads to a better shot.
And 1:01 left in the first quarter of the game. And Holiday kicks to O'Quinn. And O'Quinn slams it in.
Boy, spotted his teammate on the move, put the assist perfectly placed out in front of him, leading him right to the rack.
Minnesota in the lead. Dishes it to Muhammad. That's tipped. And now the Knicks on the break. O'Quinn, the pass to Holiday. Here's Kuzminskis. And O'Quinn kicks to Holiday. The game now all-time. Holiday's got his 3rd basket of the night.
And they've had assists now on their last 3 baskets.
Now about 10 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Over to the wing. 19 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Just 5 to shoot. Dunn kicks to Muhammad. Off target with his 3. Here's Kuzminskis to the paint. Here's Hernan Gomez. And no good. Had a chance to take the lead. It's a tie game in New York. And we'll get the second quarter underway on the other side of this break. And catching up with Porzingis, he spoke with us about his rude introduction to the NBA.
Definitely wasn't a good feeling when you get booed at the draft. But with all the hard work I did and all the sacrifices and all the stuff that was going on, and I I pushed through it, and I was able to win the fans over.
Yeah, Knicks fans really gave it to Porzingis, and most of them hadn't even seen him play.
And it was unfair, but that's sports. You know, who knows? Maybe it motivated him to prove people wrong. He's been tougher than a lot of people thought, and that's, you know, you got to tip your hat to him.
And off we go, a close game now starting the second quarter. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Knicks?
Just almost an intimidating factor when you're able to go out and consistently come up with the block shots like they have defensively.
You're right. The weak side help has been on time. Their rotation's outstanding. Bodying up on people. No easy buckets.
In a moment now to reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up for the second quarter of basketball. And so in the game for the Timberwolves, Towns and Jang, the lengthy pair inside. A high-flying pair of Levine and Wiggins at the 2 and the 3. And it's Rubio in at the 1.
And that floater is something Rose has been comfortable with since he came into the league. It's only gotten better with time.
Now, here's Rubio. He's been patient so far, nothing yet on the scoreboard. Levine dishes to Towns. It's rebounded by Noah. Noah's got his third rebound on the night. The Knicks with the lead. All right, let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, guys, Andrew Wiggins' ball handling lagged behind the rest of his game before he came to the NBA, but he's found he can use his size to post up immediately. It's a talent that many players don't develop until they've been in the league for years. Well, when he's got the footwork and as his skills develop, he's almost certain to become a superstar.
Sure does. Thanks, D.A. Timberwolves trail by 4. Rubio outside. And Towns the bucket on the assist from Rubio. And 11 points for Karl Anthony Towns. Outside Rose. To the middle. Rebound Minnesota. Towns has got his third rebound tonight. Rubio the pass to Towns. To the inside. Here's Dang. Terrific assist. A nice finish. Solid play all around.
Well, the definition of a high-percentage shooter. Terrific touch by Gorgui Dieng.
Rose kicks to Porzingis. The fadeaway. Rose dishes to Lee. Yes, and it's Rose with the assist that time. Lee's got 6. The Timberwolves have gone 2 of 4 shooting the ball here in the second. Rubio against Rose. Towns with it. 17 points for him last game against New York.
Boy, and defensively, he had them off balance. He was able to come away with 4 steals.
Second quarter of play with almost 3 minutes gone. Rubio with a wide open look. A three-pointer is right on target. Rubio's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3.
Boy, you think back to draft night, and Porzingis was roundly booed by Knicks fans when he was taken with the 4th overall pick. But that's ancient history now. I think everyone realizes the talent this young guy possesses.
Now here's Porzingis. 6 points for him. Just 5 on the clock. Thomas knocked loose. The Timberwolves have gone 50% from the floor in the second quarter, 3 of 6. Rose with the block. To the inside. Lee. Good D by Rubio. And there were even some rumors on draft night that Carmelo Anthony wasn't happy with the pick of Porzingis.
That's a rumor he vehemently denied. They're both perimeter-oriented forwards, and I could see why Melo might prefer a guard or perhaps a more traditional pivot man. The Knicks, though, looking for the upside, and Porzingis has that in spades.
And guys, right now, the defense mentally not there. Can't afford too many of those in a close game like this.
Yeah, Jay, you're right. Almost a free run for him there.
Yeah, with the score this tight, someone has to come over and take the charge, or at least contest the shot.
They get it back. Here's Wiggins. So the whistle blows on the shot, and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
Well, an ever-diversifying offensive arsenal. Wiggins baits the defender with that little up fake.
And with Wiggins, it's best to be patient with his development, and they have been, to the credit of the Minnesota Timberwolves organization. But Doris, most feel once his three-pointer becomes a consistent weapon, his game is really going to take off.
I think that's exactly right, Kevin, because Wiggins can make threes at a decent clip right now, but even a slight improvement may push him to the point where he's at elite scoring levels. That first step, coupled with a strong three game, would make him virtually unguardable. You know, if he continues to work on his shot, you know his deep game will come along soon enough.
And both free throws good for Wiggins.
I think one aspect of Wiggins that really helps his game that might be overlooked is how long his arms are. It helps him keep the ball away from defenders when he's driving to the rim. The high release point on his shot makes it that much harder to contest.
Now, here's Rubio. Taking a look at his numbers, he averages about 7 points a game. And so he draws the foul on the shot, a trip to the line to shoot 2.
Well, the quickness to beat you inside, Wiggins possesses that in spades.
The Timberwolves been on target from the free throw line. They're 5 of 5 in that department.
And it's been an average year, really, at the free throw line for this group, only around 75%.
That free throw missing. And Doris, another benefit of Wiggins is his great length for his position. So it takes very few steps for him to go from the three-point line right to the rim.
Yeah, I think when you couple his reach with his hang time, you can see why he can adjust so many times in the air and still get off a great shot. It's really crazy to think he's a shooting guard with a 7-foot wingspan.
He hits the second from the line. Well, we've seen a lot of players come and go in the NBA, Doris, and for the players that have a great career, what is the common aspect that threads these great players in your mind together?
2 things, talent and work ethic.
Well said. Now here's Rose. He's coming off a 10-point game against the Timberwolves in Minneapolis.
And what I enjoyed when watching that game was the way he balanced getting his shot and also incorporating his teammates.
The Knicks have been getting it done at the line, 10 for 12. He misses the free throw. And he sinks the second.
We see a lot of teams have gone through logo or jersey transitions, but the Knicks have had that classic blue and orange for a long time. One of the most iconic logos, not only in the NBA, but in all of sports.
And the New York Knicks franchise, one of the founding franchises of the NBA back in 1946.
Well, and how about this, Kevin? The name Knickerbocker traces back even further to the Dutch settlers who came over in the 1600s. It referred to their knee-length style of pants, but came to represent New Yorkers in time.
Free throw good, Wiggins.
Well, getting to the line at will nowadays. Wiggins wanting to improve his free throw percentage.
And both free throws good for Wiggins.
And guys, as we know, New York has gone through some tough times in the past. The question now is New York City still a destination free agents hope to be a part of? Listen, the lure of the city certainly should be a factor. The other part, this is a storied franchise.
Now, here's Rubio. Goes up the baseline. And the shot no good, a bit short.
He hasn't gotten many to go this quarter, but he's still trying to find that consistency.
Rubio against Rose. Outside, Porzingis, and Thomas has it in the corner. Noah with a screen for Thomas. Back to Porzingis, and the dunk by Porzingis.
Boy, did an excellent job to hit the moving target with the lead pass. That was simply perfectly placed.
It just seems like the big markets don't have quite the same advantage they used to, Doris, in attracting free agents, wouldn't you say?
Well, Kevin, I don't think you're more right. You could be more right. I think when the dollar signs are equal, winning becomes the biggest draw. And that's tough for a team like the Knicks that's trying to claw their way back into the upper echelon.
And clearly, he's in a lot of pain. They call time, and the trainer's going to get a chance to go out and check him over.
And where the shots been coming from tonight? Here's a look broken down by paint, mid-range, and three-point shot attempts so far for the Knicks.
And they've been doing a great job of getting into the paint and scoring inside. The defense allowing them easy access to the rim, and boy, are they taking advantage.
Knicks trail by 3. Outside Rose. Past Hernan Gomez. New York, no good that time either. Minnesota's gone 1 of 2 on three-pointers here in the second quarter so far. And that one's good. Wiggins.
Building on a solid first quarter performance, he's now taken his offense up several notches.
Rose gets to Thomas. Porzingis passes to Rose. Banked in off the glass. Rose has got 4 points now in the quarter.
And Derrick Rose certainly equipped athletically to punish teams in the paint.
Towns, no luck. New York's gone 0-2 from deep here in the second. Lee dishes to Thomas. Back to Lee. And Lee with the stuff.
Oh, and he went for the two-hander on the slam, using some muscle.
Some urgency from him there, sure. Minnesota calls timeout. And as the coaches go to the clipboard to outline their strategy during the timeout, the players getting a chance to rehydrate with some Gatorade. That's key to staying fresh all the way to the final whistle.
And Kevin, it really is. And every one of these players knows it. They're all making sure to stay hydrated. It's impossible to play your A game if you're not getting enough to drink, especially towards the end of games when the physical toll of a long contest really starts to add up.
Whole new look on the floor for Minnesota. Ahmed with it. Now Thomas defending. Now here's Dunn. He's coming off a 10-point game against New York.
And don't forget about his playmaking in that game either. I mean, he did a great job of attacking the D and creating opportunities for both himself and his teammates.
New York trailing. Outside Rose. Over in the quarter, Porzingis. Yes, and it's Rose with the assist that time. And that's 12 points for Porzingis.
Oh, guys, you have got to love those long strides. KP able to cover some ground on his way to the rim.
The Knicks shooting 47% from the floor since the end of the first quarter. Outside Rose. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. And as we look forward to the playoffs, they call it the second season. Doris, what do you look for in a playoff team to reach that level of success?
I think what you see over the course of an 82-game regular season schedule is you see teams build their habits. And most of those habits start on the defensive end of the floor. If you look traditionally at NBA champions, you can go back a long time and find that the best teams and the ones that have won championships have been consistently in the top third from all of the defensive metrics. So that's, habits, defense, and then in today's NBA stars, you've got to have, I think, at least 2 and sometimes 3, depending on how big your stars are.
No good on the second, so he hits 1 of 2.
I think if you look over the history of the Timberwolves, one position they've always been strong in since their inception in 1989, the power forward slot. KG, of course, the big name, but now you get Kevin Love, and then you follow him with Karl Anthony Towns, keeping the tradition alive.
Here's Rose, following the score by Cole Aldridge. Here's Porzingis, And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot two.
Very tough to affect the shot of Porzingis without leaving your feet. And KP, because of that, has the ability to keep them off balance. You know, Kristaps Porzingis is an impressive athlete with perimeter skills, and at 7'2". I know his build has been slender, and that's a bit of a concern, but he's staying in the weight room trying to fill that frame out.
And you heard some in the Knicks front office say that Porzingis might actually be too tall in the NBA game. Not often, Doris, you hear that.
No, for sure. I mean, there were some who wondered if his core strength might never enable him to hold position inside. But you know the Zen Master. Come on. I think that was classic reverse psychology, setting out the challenge and making KP work to prove him wrong.
Now, here's Dunn. He's a good contributor to his team, averaging about 10.5 points a game. Inside, Hill kicks to Aldridge. Nice ball movement by Minnesota. The feed now to Hill. 6 on the shot clock. From deep. Dunn misses.
The game has been very close in a lot of areas, but rebounding has been the one differentiator thus far.
Goes up at the stripe. And Hill throws it down.
And, guys, isn't it great to see a player who works that hard on the glass at both ends?
Well said, G. That's the way he has built, you know, his reputation. Grinding away 100% effort all the time.
So much tenacity. Really tries to outwork everyone around him.
And a new group in for the Knicks. Well, every team goes into the draft looking for finishers like these. Here are the most efficient scorers among this year's rookie class. In the third spot, Chris Dunn.
He's scoring and finishing at a very high level. I mean, playing within himself offensively and being very discerning with his shot selection.
Knicks trail by 3. There's Baker. He averages a bit over 6 points a game. Holiday left side. To the inside. Shots good by Hernan Gomez.
And they've repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid off.
And Muhammad kicks to Dunn. And it's Hill. That time the assist from Dunn. Dunn's got 4 assists in the game.
Boy, he's been dead-eyed tonight, and the whole team has prospered from that.
Now we get a chance to check out the standings out east already. We are in December. You look at Chicago. Things going their way so far in this season. Right now, they lead the pack up front in the first spot with the best record. And, of course, the Knicks, 5.5 games behind.
And right now for the Knicks, they've looked very solid here to start the season. What's surprised me the most is just how much confidence this group is playing with.
They really do look like they came into the season with the belief that they belong in the conversation among the best teams in the league.
No good on the free throw. One term you always hear when you talk about Tom Thibodeau is his work ethic. He's always spending late nights at the office analyzing tape, Doris, and doing everything he can to make sure he hasn't missed something in a game plan.
You and I both know, Kevin, this is one of the most intense coaches in the game when it comes to preparation, and it's because of his work ethic that make him so appealing as a coach. You know, with a young group like the Wolves, having Thibodeau showing them what it takes to be successful is huge.
Now, here's Dunn. Aldridge kicks to Muhammad. Stolen by Holiday. Passes to Kuzminskis. And the bucket counts, and he's on his way to the free throw line. Try to make it a 3-point play.
That's just too easy. No one with size willing to switch over, and that left the smaller defender stranded.
He's made 1 and missed 1 so far in the game. Now the free throw is good, now leading by 1.
Well, the glory days for the Knicks, back in the early 70s, 1970 and 73 to be exact, the franchise's 2 NBA championships. Who can ever forget?
Offensive rebound, Muhammad, and a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2.
You know, I think the one area where Muhammad seems to get more comfortable each year is the free throw line.
And what a great team that was. Doris, that roster for the Knicks in the early 70s. Wow.
Wow, you're right, Kevin. Dick Barnett, Bill Bradley, Dave DeBusschere, Willis Reed, and, of course, Walt Frazier. All fixtures on both title runs. It was a deep team, and they worked beautifully together.
Muhammad hits them both.
You know, there are a lot of questions about whether Shabazz Muhammad, when he came into the NBA, would ever find his spot. I mean, he's mostly a scorer in college, but you weren't sure how it would translate to the NBA. Seems to be best in being a scoring threat off the bench right now.
Muhammad with the steal. A chance here to get a quick injury report. Now an update on Joakim Noah from David Aldridge. David, what'd you find out?
Thanks, Kevin. I just talked with the Knicks head athletic trainer. It's not what anyone wanted to hear, as it sounds like it's a severe injury. Of course, the schedule is getting extremely demanding at this time of the season. That injury is only going to make things worse. Kevin?
Thank you, David. Really appreciate you finding out how he's doing.
And, you know, I know everyone is rooting for him to make a quick and full recovery.
Well, I can tell you this. He has the pain tolerance to come back earlier than expected, and the kind of toughness, too.
The Timberwolves have shot 10 of 11 at the line. Nice work so far for them. And for Muhammad, he has found his role in acting as the offensive spark, Doris, when his team needs him. And when you watch him play that role, he's suited to that kind of style.
Yeah, and I think knowing what your role is on a team can help a lot for a young developing player. If you have one thing to focus on and know what is expected out of you, it helps you feel a lot more comfortable. And Muhammad has definitely seen a boost to his game since being deployed as a sixth man.
There's Baker. Outside Holiday. He kicks it to O'Quinn. Back to Holiday. New York moving it around. And Aldridge sends it back. 4 on the clock. Out of bounds. Knicks ball as New York keeps possession of it. Knicks trail by 3. Holiday misses the deep three-point attempt. 1:16 left in the first half. Here's Bielitz. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Outdone. He feeds it to Hill. Another miss by Minnesota. There's Baker. O'Quinn in the post. He's guarded by Hill. Baker, no good.
He definitely got nervous at the rim. I mean, he needs to make sure he finishes strong.
And Justin Holiday picks up the foul. That's his first foul of the game, and the bonus will go to the free throw line. Well, you take a look at Chris Dunn out of Providence. It's easy to see what talent evaluators see in this young man.
6'4", long arms, strength, blinding quickness. He is an NBA athlete and then some. In a draft year that was light on point guard, you knew he'd be one of the first to hear his name called.
The free throw drops in for Dunn.
He does a great job of drawing contact and getting himself to the line, something he didn't do in the first period.
He doesn't get the second one. And it's hard to watch a Minnesota Timberwolves game and not think of the late, great Flip Saunders. Doris, a great coach, as you know, and an even better person. He meant so much to Minnesota, both for what he did for the team on and off the court.
Kevin, it's rare when someone is universally respected, but Flip Saunders was, and he will always be tied to the Timberwolves.
And although not a block officially, it might as well have been his ability to react and alter the shot.
He read that play all the way. When he's around, you hear footsteps.
That is just a careless turnover. You've got to be smarter in those exchanges.
11 seconds left now here in the second. Here's Baker. Pass to Hernan Gomez to end the run. And that does it for the first half of play. Timberwolves lead by 6. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Kevin, thank you. Andrew, the energy and effort were apparent throughout that first half. How were you able to do it?
We had a good practice, working hard, really
putting things together. Keep doing that, you can come out with a W.
Hey, thanks for your time. We appreciate it. Back to you, Kevin.
Okay, David, much appreciated. And now time for halftime. So we'll be back in just a bit to get the third quarter underway.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
And we hope you've enjoyed our first half of action. I'm Ernie Johnson, welcoming you back. Shaquille O'Neal is right there. Kenny the Jet Smith is right there. And this here is the halftime report. It was a closely contested first quarter for Minnesota. They got their lead up to as many as 8 points in the opening period. They really touched on the right formula in the second quarter as they were able to pull out to a 6-point lead before the halftime break. And Kenny, what did you see out there from the Timberwolves?
Well, one place they had the edge was on the offensive board. They converted those extra possessions into points. Nothing is more demoralizing to a defense than forcing a miss and then giving up a second attempt. The offensive glass is going to pay big dividends for them.
And Shaq, what are your thoughts on New York?
I think they're playing defense with their hands instead of their feet. Too many times they've been caught reaching and they paid the price. These guys giving up way too many free throws. They need to stop sending guys to the line. Come on.
All right, that is going to wrap up our halftime report as it's just about time for the start of the third quarter.
We have a close ball game on our hands as we get set for the second half of basketball. Porzingis with a strong contribution so far in this one.
It's been about his ability to just lock down the opponent from a defensive standpoint. A lot of shots also being blocked.
His timing is great, and he gets tremendous lift. Guys are having a hard time shooting over him.
Knicks trail by 6. Derrick Rose is out there with Lee. Then it's Thomas. And there's Porzingis. And it's Noah in at the center. That's the 5 for New York right now. Porzingis kicks to Thomas. To the paint. Parked down low that time, and he got the 3-second call. And a look here at the shot chart.
Well, just look at the cluster in the middle of the paint. That right there tells you all you need to know about how they have built the lead they have. They are playing with more intensity on the offensive side of the ball, and it's the difference in the game right now. You have to love how they've approached this matchup.
Timberwolves leading by 6. And here's Levine. Jang with a screen on Lee. And Levine, here we go. Porzingis with the steal. Right side, Thomas. These players have been dominant on the glass in their last 10 games, leading the NBA in rebounding. 5th, Joakim Noah.
When it comes to rebounding, it's been a stupendous stretch for him. He's been using his body and strength so effectively.
That free throw good from Porzingis.
That's an example of the release point being so high, the defender has no options. You just don't see that many players Porzingis' size, 7'2", 7'3", who can stroke the jumper the way he can.
So he gets them both. Timberwolves leading by 4. Rubio, the pass to Wiggins. Back to Rubio.
I'd say one thing you've got to love about Ricky Rubio is that air of excitement he brings to the floor. You simply never know when he's going to fire off an amazing pass that splits defenders. It's must-see TV when this guy is out in front of the break.
That's also good. So he hits both free throws.
Yeah, shooting free throws among the many things he does well.
Outside Rose. Noah with a screen for Rose. Outside for Thomas. There's the 3. Yes, and it's Rose with the assist that time. Thomas got 5. And Rubio certainly does have that flair for the dramatic when he's on the floor. Reminds you, in fact, Doris, a little bit of Jason Williams.
Well, if you're talking about exciting basketball to watch, that is the highest compliment you can pay. It's not easy to demand the attention of a crowd with your passing skills alone. And Rubio has managed to do that with his on-court wizardry.
Now here's Porzingis after the miss from Karl Anthony Towns.
When things come together for Porzingis, he can be too much to handle for any defender.
Down low, here's Dang, and it's in off the backboard. 9 points in the game so far.
They didn't have much of a problem getting the ball into the post that time.
Rose against Rubio. Noah with a screen for Rose. And Ricky Rubio gets the whistle that time. That's his third foul of the game.
Man, it's close, but, didn't get on balance quick enough.
And we're just about 2 minutes into the second half now. From deep, Thomas. That shot misses. Wiggins with some nice D. Timberwolves leading by 3. Towns in the corner. Jang dishes to Wiggins. Tipped away. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. It's on Porzingis.
But what a quick move. Wiggins able to draw the contact. Defender completely off balance.
And the first one at the line is good.
I mean, the first thing you notice about Gorgui Dieng is when he's on the floor, it's his defensive presence. Very long arms to bother shooters, quick movement to stay and track drivers as they come to the rim. Such a force.
So he makes 1 of 2 as the second one misses. And with Dieng's defensive presence, Doris, he'll always find a way onto the floor. Everything else he does is icing on the cake.
Well, it isn't just protecting the rim that Dieng excels at, right? He also has great timing to deny passes and come up with some steals. He's carved out a nice role for himself in the NBA. Great beginning to this second half. Now 3 for 4 from the field.
Kicks it out to Wiggins. He dishes it to Towns. To the paint. Here's Wiggins. And the layup is good after a nice lead pass. Wiggins has got 14 points.
Tremendous vision for a big man. One reason teams are reluctant to run an extra guy at Cat.
Lee kicks to Thomas. Noah with a screen for Thomas. Back to Lee. Down to 5 on the shot clock. And Thomas, here we go. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. He'll take his 3rd and 4th free throw shots of the game right here. That free throw good from Thomas.
Jeff Hornacek was the man chosen to lead this Knicks team during their coaching search. You think about they took a look at several names in and out of the organization, but Hornacek ended up being their guy. It seemed like they felt Hornacek didn't get a fair shake and is underrated as a coach.
And both free throws good for Thomas. And with Hornacek being available in the first place, he was previously coach of the Suns, but was let go amidst the chaotic season that the Suns went through last year.
Kevin, the feeling around the league was that Hornacek was just part of a bad situation in Phoenix, and glad to see him get a chance to show what he can do with the New York Knicks. You knew he'd get another chance after finishing so high in Coach of the Year voting in his rookie year of coaching.
And here is Lee after the three-pointer from Zach LaVine. Rose kicks to Lee. Rebounded by the Timberwolves. Chang's got his 4th rebound in this one. And the call against Lance Thomas. That's his 4th foul of the contest. Rubio with it. 5 points in the game. Outside, LaVine. Back to Rubio. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2. And Ricky Rubio has always had incredible court vision and knack for making that one dagger of a pass. But Doris has done a good job maturing as a point guard over the last few years. Picked up a lot of things along the way.
Yeah, Kevin, I mean, listen, the one area I've really noticed for Rubio that's improved is his decision-making.
Take a break.
He has found ways to cut turnovers down every year in the league and is now one of the best playmakers in the NBA.
And that one falls for Ricky Rubio.
Now, this is one of the most talked about international players ever, and I think Rubio just needs to stay healthy and keep working on that shot.
Both free throws good from Rubio. Now here's Rose. He's got 8. Lee kicks to Thomas. Outside Rose. Now the pass to Porzingis. New York, no good that time either.
Looked like it might drop for him, and you know, that has to frustrate him just a bit. That's one of his favorite spots on the floor.
Wiggins, Porzingis with the block.
You know, when you drive the lane, you have to know where Porzingis is, because with his reach, he can sneak up and send that shot away anytime.
Knicks trail by 9. They've been looking out of sync offensively.
And they need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
Noah kicks to Lee. And they get it. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
Wow, they've made every free throw here in the second half.
This is his second trip to the line in this one.
2 shots.
The free throw drops for Lee. Both good from the line that time. Timberwolves leading by 7. Rubio outside. Towns with it. Now guarded by Porzingis. And good. Got the English that time as it falls. Wiggins has got 7 points here in this quarter. The Knicks have gone 3 of 6 in the third quarter. 50% from the field. Porzingis with a screen on Levine. Lee passes to Porzingis. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2. Well, when you're taken first overall, like Karl Anthony Towns was, you are expected to be an all-star. But you know what, Doris? I'm not sure if many thought Towns would be a generational talent, as he's on track to be in his young career.
Yeah, I think it's rare to see a player be taken first overall and actually exceed expectations. At every step of the way, Towns has worked hard and exceeded what was expected of him. And I think that mentality has put him in position to become one of the best big men in the NBA. I can't wait to watch.
And so he hits both. Minnesota leading by 7. Rubio outside. Levine kicks to Wiggins. The dish to Jang from 17 feet out. Noah with the block. And good that time.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Porzingis with a screen on Rubio. Floats one. Karl Anthony Towns with the rebound. Towns has got double-digit rebounds now in the game. Rubio dishes to Levine. Off target there. That would have pushed the lead to double digits. Knicks trail by 9. To the middle. Got a piece of it. Here's Noah. And he overshot that one, missing.
Ooh, his shot is way off. Someone else is going to have to step up scoring-wise if they're going to be competitive.
Yeah, They're going to have to tone it down, or they may end up giving up a lot of free throws here.
Shooting 2.
They throw good, Levine. Well, the one question Zach LaVine had when he entered the NBA is whether or not he could be a reliable contributor on offense. Of course, he's put in the work to improve his efficiency a great deal in that regard.
Yeah, and I think a big part of that for LaVine is that he's worked on his jump shot to where he's now more of a threat. He upped his field goal percentage from mid-range and from deep since his rookie season. He's shown better judgment in the shots he takes. All of that goes into making him a better player.
And it's sent back by Hill. And now the Timberwolves on the break. LaVine with the ball. And that one's good. Wiggins.
Timeout.
New York calls timeout.
Guard it.
And starting to send guys to the line way more than they need to. Let's get some good position defense going here. That should be the emphasis, and get away from the sloppy fouls.
What about the finals format, Doris? 2-2, 1-1-1. It's back. Most everyone pleased about it. What do you think?
I love it because if you go to the old 2-3-2 format, to me, that middle stretch where the team that's lower seeded literally has 3 straight opportunities to change a series with home court advantage, that is unfair to the team that works so hard to get that top spot.
And some changes here for the Timberwolves. Cole Aldrich, he's checked in for Towns. Bielitsa comes in for Wiggins. And Shabazz Muhammad subbed in for Levine. Here's Holiday. 9 points in the game so far. Kicks it to O'Quinn. Here's Baker. Back to O'Quinn. New York moving it around. Here's Kuzminskis. And O'Quinn slams it in.
Boy, you got to give it to the big fella from Norfolk State. O'Quinn making his presence felt on the second chance opportunities.
Now, here's Dunn. He's guarded closely. Out to the wing. Here's Hill. And it's Hill with the jam.
And Kevin, plays like that are really the reason they've got a nice lead right now. Just a great job on the glass.
And Greg, the jam and the follow gets their whole bench jumping. Look at them. They are really into it.
The other bench deflated because that was a rough sequence for the defense. They hated to give up those points, but did nothing to stop it.
Shot clock at 6. Muhammad with the steal. Stolen by Holiday. And the whistle blows on the backcourt violation. He went over and back. And now it's time to look at our rookie leaderboard and see which of the first-year players are tops in assists during the last month. Second is Chris Dunn.
And he's been setting the table beautifully. I mean, that'll keep his veteran teammates really happy.
Trying to find Muhammad. Gets it to him. And the shot goes in.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today? Ending with a basket, coming off a pretty pass.
Here's Baker. Outside Holiday. Rebound by Aldrich.
A slight rebound advantage for them. One more column in their favor, and it's all adding up.
And here we go. On up the court. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
The line for your Knicks. Mendugas Kuzminskas. 2 shots.
And the first one drops. Both shots good from the stripe. Timberwolves leading by 12. Now done. 7 points in the game. Tries a three. And they call over the back here. Too much contact.
You know, right call. Gave the officials no choice there. I mean, they've got to make that call over the back.
At the line for Timberwolves, Nemanja Bjelica. At the line for two.
Shooting two.
And the first one drops. And so he makes both from the line. Knicks trail by 14. Here's Baker. Pass to Kuzminskis. There's the pick. The kick out to Holiday. Second shot opportunity. Shot's good by Hernan Gomez.
And the defense just gets caught standing around that time and giving up the second chance opportunity.
I mean, easily prevented points if they just attacked the boards the way they should have.
Now, here's Dunn. 7 points in the game. And here is Muhammad. Feeds it to Dunn. Clock at 6. For the three. The Knicks pull it in. O'Quinn's got his 5th rebound right now in the game.
If he were shooting even a little better, they would have a much bigger lead.
Here's Hill. And off the front iron, and in it goes. Hill's got the lead up to 14 now for the Timberwolves. Baker passes to Kuzminskis. And there's a minute 45 left to play here in the third. O'Quinn can't hit.
Oh, excellent interior D to force the miss.
Boy, if you're going to challenge him in the lane, you better go strong.
And 2 shots coming up at the line as he gets fouled on the shot. And the foul goes against New York.
2 shots.
Well, this is becoming more of a regular at the line these days. Muhammad's aggressiveness paying off.
One thing you can't help but notice, Doris, with Muhammad is just how strong he is. Listed at 6'6", which is a good height for his position. But he can bully everyone else on the wings with his strength.
You know, I think, Kevin, he welcomes the contact. That's perhaps more important than anything. Muhammad is very good at absorbing a hit underneath and continuing on to get a chance at a three-point play. And he looks very much at home under the hoop, even when he has to try to outmuscle opposing big men.
And he can't get the first one. And he can't make the second free throw either. Missing both. Knicks trail by 14. Here's Baker. In the corner, O'Quinn with it. Pass to Baker. Dishes to Holiday. To the middle. 6 on the shot clock. Muhammad grabs the board. Minnesota's gone 1 of 4 in three-point shots here in the third. Well-timed pass, and he goes straight to the bucket for the layup. 9 points for Chris Dunn.
There's just no way you are stopping Dunn when he's that close to the bucket. A skilled finisher and amazing athlete.
Holiday, the pass to Hernan Gomez. Here's the screen. Over to the wing. Pass to Baker. And it's good. 2 points. And we may have an injury here. That does not look good.
Yeah, that does not look good. Let's just hope it's not too serious.
You cringe when you see that happen. Unfortunate part of the game.
Ricky Rubio checked in for Dunn. Aldridge kicks to Rubio. The Knicks pull it in.
Got to be stronger about finishing those looks. That's a great opportunity, guys.
Indeed it is. You're right, Doris. Inside. Here's Hernan Gomez. No good on the shot. And Minnesota now the other way. It's off to Charlotte for him after this game as they take on the Hornets. That'll be the second of this 2-game road trip. And there's the feed to Aldridge. There's the pass to Bielitsa. Rubio in the corner. Hill sets the screen for Rubio. Stolen. Here's Hernan Gomez. And Aldridge sends it back. And it's out of bounds to the Knicks as New York retains possession. And as we end the third quarter, a double-digit deficit will make it tough to come back. The Timberwolves on top. They lead by 14. And we're coming right back. Be sure to stay with us as we get started for the fourth quarter. And now we take a listen into the recent huddle from Tom Thibodeau.
Defensively, make sure we're all getting rebounded. No second shot. In transition, everyone talking. No open threes in transition.
And Tom Thibodeau wanting his team to pay particular attention to certain areas of their defense.
Yeah, taking care of the defensive boards, allowing no easy baskets on the fast break. These are key elements in terms of you having success.
Welcome back as we get ready to start the fourth quarter. Not exactly a nail-biter here, but you never know. And a look at the 5 for the Timberwolves to start the fourth. Rubio and Levine together in the backcourt. Towns and Jang, the lengthy pair inside. And it's Wiggins in at the 3. Rubio misses. Knicks trail by 14. Thomas dishes to Lee. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2.
Taking 2 shots.
First one falls for him. And both free throws good for Thomas. Timberwolves leading by 12. Rubio outside. He kicks it to Wiggins. He feeds it to Jang. Shoots from the line. And it's O'Quinn with the rebound. O'Quinn's got his 8th rebound here tonight. There's the dish to Lee. But he recovers it. Over Levine. Here's Noah. And finally they hit one.
You know, working hard on the offensive glass, and it pays off. You love to see that kind of tenacity on the boards.
Jang, that's good, and it's Levine with the assist. Levine's got his 4th assist in this one. Rose kicks to O'Quinn. He dishes it to Noah. Jumper off the screen, and he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. And GA, after being such a fixture in the city of Chicago and for so long, Joakim Noah signing with his hometown team, the Knicks, in the last offseason, a bit of a bittersweet end of his time with the Chicago Bulls. A lot of moving parts in his time with Chicago.
Yeah, and, you know, his playing time had dwindled, and it was just, I think, in everyone's best interest for him to move on. It's a great fit in New York, both with the team and the pulse of the city. Clearly was still valued highly around the league as it took a sizable contract to put him in that Knick uniform.
Porzingis is checked in for Kyle O'Quinn. And he can't hit the second. Timberwolves leading by 11. Levine with it. He's picked up by Lee. Levine against Lee. On the wing, Levine. Towns, a screen on Lee. Kept alive. Porzingis with the block. And it goes out of bounds. That went off Porzingis. Rubio, the pass to Wiggins. They shoot again. He gets it in there.
And you know what? He's shaking off the cold shooting performance from the first half.
And that one misses. Knicks trail by 13. Rose kicks it to Noah. And stolen by Jang. Puts it up from 17. And the shot falls short this time. For New York, they've gone 1 of 3 from the field to start the fourth quarter. Here's Porzingis. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
Boy, the aggressiveness in the paint from Porzingis, putting the onus on the officials to make a call. You've got to make them decision makers.
And he makes both free throws. Timberwolves leading by 11. Rubio outside. Here's Wiggins. The Knicks pull it in. Noah's got 6 rebounds here tonight. Rose against Rubio. Rose kicks to Porzingis. That doesn't go either for Porzingis. Rose against Rubio. It's stolen by Rose. On the wing, Lee tries from 16.
2 shots, gentlemen. 2.
Line for your Knicks, Courtney Lee. At the line for 2.
That free throw from Lee is good. And both free throws good for Lee. Here is Rubio. Jang, a screen. Rubio dishes to Wiggins. And once again off the mark by Minnesota.
I love the anticipation defensively there to get into the perfect spot.
And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. It's going to be on Andrew Wiggins.
And a guy who's averaged as many as 7 free throws a game in his career, Rose knows how to get to the line.
Derrick Rose. Taking 2 shots.
First free throw is good. He's perfect from the line this time.
And Derrick Rose, the former #1 overall pick in 2008, one of the most athletically gifted point guards the league has ever seen.
Moment here now for an injury report. Let's check in with David Aldridge for an injury update on Chris Dunn. David.
Well, guys, I had a moment to catch up with Minnesota's head athletic trainer. He told me that in his opinion, the injury does not appear to be too serious. He won't return for this game, and depending on the final prognosis, he may miss a number of games before making a return. I'll let you know more details as soon as I find them out. Kevin?
All right, David and folks, we will, of course, keep everyone updated as we find out more.
And you know what? He could have a long road ahead in terms of getting back on the court. But one thing we all know, he's never been shy of hard work.
Yeah, his fortitude is tremendous. He's going to keep rehabilitating at the highest level until he's back out there with his teammates.
Outside Rose. Here's Porzingis. And it's off from three-point range. Timberwolves leading by 7. Levine for 3. It's hauled in by Porzingis. Porzingis has got 9 rebounds in the game, getting it done. Towns with the steal. Levine against Lee. Here's Rubio. Off the mark, and the drought continues.
Boy, in the latter stages, his shot is off. At least they're still winning.
That's good from Noah on the assist by Lee. That's 7 points for Joakim Noah.
And they have gotten themselves back into this game just in the nick of time. If that one had come any later, it would have been Katie bar the door.
They're showing so much passion and determination here at the end. They're close to the lead, but still have plenty of work left to do. He's trying to make something happen, but obviously been a tough quarter.
To the middle. They get a hand on it, and it's out of bounds to the Knicks as New York retains possession.
Oh, nice play there to get a hand on that pass and tip it out of bounds.
Amazing. The quickness, the eye-hand coordination of these guys, extraordinary.
Now here's Lee. Here's Rose.
He's been so inconsistent from the field, and that makes it hard for these guys to catch up.
And they've fallen completely out of sync here offensively. I'm not seeing nearly the same movement or flow that we saw in that first half.
Kicks it to Lee. Noah, the pass to Porzingis. Lee. And they're going to count the bucket and send him to the line. It could be a three-point play.
Again and again, they're dissecting the defense and creating those high-percentage looks from inside.
Lee no good on the free throw. Timberwolves leading by 3. And here we go. They need this one. Wiggins kicks to Towns. Here's Rubio. And off the left side of the rim, and it swirls in for him.
I tell you, unwilling to settle for something on the perimeter. Rubio sticks his nose inside.
Outside Rose. Pass to Porzingis. Towns with the defensive effort.
Just getting a hand in the face makes all the difference. That was the case there.
And I like how he puts himself in position there to finish on the break.
You know, true. He got to the spot where there's nothing a defender could do to stop him.
Here's Rubio. Lays it in without an inch of room around him. And the Timberwolves lead by 9.
How about the effort by Rubio on that play, fighting his way through contact?
Lee outside. Porzingis with a screen on Levine. Towns with the steal. Finished off the break. And it's an 11-point Timberwolves lead.
Those defenders just look a little bit gassed. I mean, they're getting pushed around on that low block.
Lee dishes to Thomas. Noah the screen. Thomas passes to Porzingis. Towns with the steal. Fast break, Minnesota. And a wide open look here for Wiggins. It's rebounded by Porzingis. Porzingis has got 12 rebounds here tonight. Big time effort. Good. And that's now 9 points for Joakim Noah.
You know, since halftime, he's finally started to shoot with confidence.
Rubio outside. Thomas against Wiggins. Again, Wiggins missing. Knicks trail by 9. To the inside. Here's Porzingis. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there.
Yeah, and KP, he's not shy about creating some contact there. He might have a slender frame, but he is not afraid.
That free throw good from Porzingis.
Really getting after the defense since the break. He's so hard to keep off the line when he pushes the action.
Both shots good from the stripe. Timberwolves leading by 7. Rubio outside. Lee against Levine. Feeds it to Jang. Doesn't get it to drop for him. Great defense that time from Noah. New York's gotten off to an 0 for 2 start from downtown here in the fourth quarter. Outside Thomas. Back to Rose. Some nice passing by New York here. Lee kicks to Porzingis. Just 5 on the clock. Lee with the ball. Now defended by Levine. And they force the shot clock violation. Great D.
And as a coach, that's the kind of turnover that drives you nuts.
And for the Timberwolves, they're shooting 43% from the floor. Jang a screen. Levine kicks to Wiggins. Goes up the baseline. And Gorgie Jang is going to pick up the foul. And that's it for him. He's fouled out. Not only that, we are in the bonus and we'll have to go to the line for 2. The Timberwolves making a switch here. Hill's checked in. Lee with the ball. Stolen by Rubio. And here we go. Rubio heading to the hoop. Count it. Good. And now it's an 11-point Timberwolves lead.
Good hard drive by Rubio. He can really turn on the Jets.
Rose dishes to Thomas. Noah with a screen for Porzingis. Thomas a screen. Lee passes to Noah. 5 on the clock. Right side Rose. Puts it up. New York, no good that time either.
And there have been some terrible shot choices here, Kev. That's not a good look at all.
Here's Rubio. Out of bounds. New York takes possession.
That's miscommunication, and we rarely see that happen.
New York calls timeout.
Start it.
Yeah, enough scoring on the inside there. I think it's time for him to send a message to his team.
It's ridiculous to give up that many points in the paint. You know, I think he'd like them to play a bit more physical.
Now let's go to the sideline and catch up with our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge.
Hey, Kevin. Well, here's the summary of what Jeff Hornacek went over with his guys during the break. He is not happy with the sloppy play offensively. He said, make the easy play. Take care of the ball. We can't afford to just give away golden opportunities. And we'll see if they can clean it up, guys.
Now, here's Rubio. Following the miss by Porzingis. And Rubio kicks to Towns. And count the basket. He was fouled, and he's going to the line for one more.
Well, battling hard. That's an impressive move by Towns. He'll go to the stripe.
Knicks trail by 14. Rose kicks to Porzingis. Back to Rose. Outside, Porzingis. That doesn't go either for Porzingis.
And boy, has he been struggling big time here in the quarter.
You know, clearly out of rhythm. He's pressing the issue right now. I'd like to see him get his teammates involved.
Now, here's Rubio. Trying to go for an alley-oop, but excellent defense and anticipation there to stop it. Here's Rose. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass.
And Derrick Rose so quick out of the gates. When he sees open floor ahead, he's at full sprint in the blink of an eye.
I think he just got nervous there, guys. Not sure what he was going for there.
New York's gone 0-3 so far in the fourth quarter from long range.
I tell you what, I'd settle for having as many points in this game as he has rebounds.
You know, you have to be an absolutely tireless worker to rack up 20-plus boards.
And 2 shots coming up at the line as he gets fouled on the shot.
Well, you just love the way Cat carries himself. I'll say this, he knows what work is.
The free throw drops for Towns. And Towns drops them both. What do you think is the most difficult thing about being a rookie that they have to face, Doris, in the transition from the college game to the pro game?
I'm interested in your response as well. I mean, the first two things that come to mind for me are physicality and length of season. Do you think that those are probably the two toughest adjustments?
Absolutely, but I also think that intangible is that being a what's it mean to be a professional? Because don't you think it covers the way you handle your off time, the way you practice, interact with the press? I mean, it's so multidimensional. Learning to be a pro just does not happen overnight.
Is there any better compliment in any field than to have someone say, that's a pro right there?
The best. Agreed. The best.
And these are the types of games where one team clearly has the edge. Tonight, it will be a win by a large margin for the Timberwolves.
And they had to battle for this win. There were times when it looked like it was maybe slipping away a bit, but they never let that happen, which I thought was a real credit to them.
And that's a product of their mental toughness. Anytime the flow of the game turned against them, instead of caving, they just dialed it up a notch and were able to pull away.
And it'll advance their win total up to 12 on the season.
Really, they had their number this season. 2 wins, a home win, and an away win. And one of the league's truly special talents making his mark. Once again, another great performance for Towns. You have to love the way that he was closing out on defensive trips. He would always body up, and it's why he ended with so many boards.
And Muhammad kicks to Jones. 26 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Bielitsa passes to Jones. Nice ball movement by Minnesota. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up.
Yeah, easy call.
And the first one at the line is good. He makes 1 of 2 that time. Right wing. Here's Baker. New York, no good that time either.
And honestly, not real happy with the shot selection on that one.
He knows it. He just got locked into scoring mode and couldn't get out of it.
So it's Minnesota winning this one easy. And in the win, a comfortable win in what was, I think, a pretty hostile environment.
It really was. You know, it's never going to be easy on the road, but they didn't have too many problems with that tonight.
And that'll do it, folks. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. Now time to head over to the studio where the award-winning Ernie Johnson is with Shaq and Kenny, all standing by. Guys, take it away.
The 2K Sports post-game show.
Thank you, Kevin. Now we move on to our Jordan player of the game, Karl Anthony Towns. For some guys, a double-double is a great night, but he makes it a regular occasion, and it's an occasion his teammates never get tired of seeing. What'd you think, Kenny?
There were a lot of things he did well tonight, but nothing topped what he was able to do on that glass. He exploded for 18 rebounds. This was all about sweat, strength, and energy. He battled hard for position on every single shot attempt and was always ready to pounce when the ball came near him.
At home, Ernie, on the road, Kenny, doesn't matter. This guy is impossible to handle when he gets rolling. The crowd was doing its best to fire this guy up and get him to respond, but nothing worked. He was too much for him. Great night from a great, great player.
That's going to do it for our broadcast tonight. We certainly hope you've enjoyed the show, don't we, guys?
It was great.
Yeah. Kenny Smith, Shaquille O'Neal, and for Kevin Harlan, and the entire 2K Sports crew. All 653,000 of them.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Hard-working.
A lot of people.
Yeah. It's a long line at the buffet, though.
Yeah. Shout out to the T-Pose, man.
Oh,
I don't know his name, but I know his face.
I'm Ernie Johnson. See you next time.